Hey everybody, so quick surprise, and I didn't know this was going to be in this video up until a couple of days ago, but I have a 3090. Woo! So after my previous video, some people pointed out that they were able to get their hands on a 3090 through some Dutch website. So I kept my eye on that website, but they only had a gigabyte 3090, which unfortunately doesn't have a water block, and I want to water cool this, of course, so the gigabyte didn't make sense for me. However, a couple of days later, they listed this one. So the MSI Ventus 3, the overclock model, so a little bit better bins model. And this one does have a water block available. Not by EK water blocks, but Watercooled has a water block for this. So I'll be getting the Watercooled water block. I don't have the water cooling components in yet, but that means that we can continue the building series after the series is done, because I already have the 3090 now. And the cool thing is that I hadn't recorded the software and benchmarking part of this video series yet. So that means that this will be in the software and benchmarking video. And then later we'll be able to compare the air benchmarks with the water benchmarks when I'm going to be putting the water block on the 3090. So that's going to be quite cool and an interesting turn of events, which I didn't expect. So without further ado, let's just dive into the actual build video, which I recorded a month ago. So the video quality isn't as good as right now because I didn't have my fancy Sigma lens yet, but that'll have to do. So let's put together the workstation. So in today's video, we're going to be putting all of the hardware together up to the water cooling section, and then next week we'll put on all of the water cooling and all of that stuff. And then after that, we're going to do all of the software and benchmarking and all of that stuff. And that one will also include my nice new 3090. So I'm going to unbox this now. Super excited. So let's head into today's video. Alrighty, it's time to build. I'm gonna record this with two cameras. So this is my main camera. This is the one I also record the intro with. This is my good camera. And then we have my crappy webcam. And the main one is the one I'm gonna use to film the hardware and stuff, because I figured that deserves the prettiest pictures, because of course my face is already so pretty that it can get away with being smeared out with a crappy webcam. So, just kidding, of course. So, anyway, I guess let's just start building. Ignore the crap in the back, by the way. I'm recording this in my living room. And I just stashed all of the hardware components in the back. So also the empty boxes, because I already unpacked the case. So the empty boxes over there. So, I guess let's get started. Let's put this thing together. Hopefully we'll have an awesome build once we finish up with this. Alright, so let's just start packing this. I know I already did the unboxing thing, but I packed everything back in. So here's the box again. So let's just get everything out. I'm first gonna be building assemble this whole thing, just the motherboard on the box. I'm gonna test run it with a all-in-one water cooler that I still had. So that's and after everything works, I'm gonna put in the custom loop. I want to test everything first, make sure that the hardware is actually not faulty and stuff like that. So I guess let's take this out. I already sort of know how this works because let me ground. So always when you're building, always touch metal every now and then, so you don't charge up any static electricity, because you can really screw up your hardware if you do that. Alright, so let's just get this out. And let's have a look. So you have a piece of paper. Really weird that, by the way, that they're sort of putting this. Let me turn down one of my mics. That they're aiming this at gamers, because it's obviously a workstation board, but I'm not sure why they keep doing that with stuff like this. Alright, so we have a whole bunch of screws and other stuff here. Oh, and this one is also quite nice. This is what I was talking about in my intro. So this is a Gen 4 NVMe thing. It's actually full metal, which is quite, I didn't expect it. I have another one of these. This is Gen 3. Wait, I'll grab it. So I bought this at one point. This is a Gen 3 one. It's by ASRock. I wasn't able to properly use this on the board that I put it on at the time, because it requires PCIe bifurcation, which older boards don't generally have. So this is the old one, but it's also, by the way, also metal. Very metal. Right. But this one looks very nice. I won't be using this in this build, but it definitely looks super sturdy. So we'll see, maybe I'll use it at some point. Just gonna put this back in the box. Alright, So I guess, let's see, manual, probably come in handy. Let's have a look at all the other crap. Let's take out these extra boxes. No, they're not. Just get the CPU. Let's put this to the side a little bit. Let's just unpack this. So we have this nice box here again. So have a look. So I kind of like how they did the packaging with this. It just looks very nice. So let's get this out. All right. And let's see. It should come with some screwdrivers and other crap, as far as I saw online. So we have this thing. Ah yeah, we have a mounting bracket here. So I'm happy that this comes with a mounting bracket. If you get a Threadripper, like normally coolers come with a with mounting brackets for TR4. This but for Threadripper it comes with the CPU. So this should be there. So I'm happy that it is. And a Torx screwdriver. So yeah, I guess let's get this thing unscrewed. So it should be, what I read is 3, 2, 1. Let's see, close, 3, 2, 1, open, 3, 2, 1. So they say how you should open it. Let me just show you on the thing. Alright, just grab this. Alright, so open, 3, 2, 1. So let's do that, 3, 2, 1. This is 3, yeah, okay. Sure, but okay, there we go. Okay. All the pins look good. Let me just record some stuff with my smartphone as well. Alright, that's in. That's in. Let's do the, where do I have the screwdriver? There it is. Okay, that's in. That's looking good. Yeah, alright, so let's get the mounting bracket on there, because I'm going to put my, wait, let me grab my all-in-one and you can see it before I actually proceed to doing that. I have a H115i here, which is, I don't remember if I mentioned it in the intro, but what so I got this for my previous build a couple of years ago, but it failed after a year. So I got it serviced. They sent me a new one. So this is gonna come in handy now, because I just want to test this build first before I go ahead and install the custom loop. So now I didn't have to buy a separate cooler to do that. So that's quite nice. Normally you wouldn't use this to cool Threadripper. I don't think it's sufficient to cool this Threadripper, but it will be fine for just testing. So let me just put this out of the way. Alright, so I have this all-in-one, which I'm trying to mount. And I'm not sure, because I have to take off this Intel mounting bracket. And we have the manual. Push it in and turn it clockwise. According to the forums, it's not clockwise, it's counterclockwise. But even if I do that, it just doesn't come off. I've been trying now for 30 minutes. This mounting bracket just doesn't want to come off. It doesn't matter how much pressure I apply. I just can't, like, it wiggles a little bit. It just doesn't come off. So if I can't get this off in the next 15 minutes, I'm just gonna say screw it. I'll just put everything together, I'll put it in the loop, and hopefully everything will not be dead on arrival. I'm not sure what's up with this, but it's absolutely impossible to take it off. Maybe it's just because I serviced it. Alright, so I'm giving up on the all-in-one. I cannot get the bracket off, and I'm breaking my hands with this. So I'm just gonna put everything together, hope the custom loop, hope all of the hardware will just function as when everything is together. It's gonna be a little bit of a gamble. I really hope I don't need to RMA anything. But at this point, I just don't see another option to do this. So I'm just gonna mount the water block instead. So yeah, hopefully that'll be fine. We'll see. Okay, so like I mentioned, I have decided to just go ahead with the water cooling. So what I'm just gonna do is I'm gonna give my CPU a quick wipe with some alcohol, some spiritus, whatever you pronounce it in English. Just gonna give this a quick wipe, make sure that it's clean. Alright, nice looking water block, matches with the motherboard. So I guess let's apply the cooling paste. Alright, let me get So I'm just gonna do the 3 dots method, I guess. And maybe a couple small dots on the sides. Just very small. Just making sure that I cover everything. It's like I'm doing super small dots at the sides because I don't want it to spread over the rest of the thing. Alright, so let's just get this thing off. And let's just mount this. I think it should. Yeah, wide and small. Yeah, that looks correct. Tight enough. They don't have any screw holes, so that should be fine. I cannot really over tighten them by hand anyway. So. Alright, that looks like it's good to go. Well, I guess, I mean, if we're not going to be able to test it before putting it all in, let's just put in the RAM, I guess. So let's just grab that. So since I have 8, I don't really have to pay attention to where I put them. I can just put them wherever. Let's have a look. Magnifique. Alright, that's the RAM. So I guess yeah, we can do the we can already put in the NVMe's maybe. I mean, that's going to be easier to do now than once we have everything in the case. So let's add the NVMe. Let me just clean this up. Okay, I'm gonna install the SSDs. Wait, where do I have the? Alright, so I first need to take off these thermal covers. Let me just unscrew these. Alright. Right, so these are thermal covers as well. I'm going to use these thermal covers for the NVMe drives. They also come with their own cooling thing, but I want to keep these on. I saw some videos online by, I think, Overclock 3D. I'm not sure, but apparently the thermal covers of the motherboard do a better job anyway. Alright, so I mentioned I have 2 NVMe drives, which are these. And I also have a regular one, which is in the package here. I'm always just still so surprised by how small these things are. It's just pretty crazy that, I mean, this one is 1 terabyte, but the other ones are 2, and it's just so tiny. It's still pretty cool that that's actually possible. Right, I'm gonna put this over to the side for one thing. I'm gonna take these screw off. So I think I'm gonna put the slow one in this one because it's just this one is angled differently. And I'm going to put 2 fast ones over here. Or should I put, maybe it's gonna be smarter to put the 2 fast ones here because my graphics cards are gonna be here. And that's gonna be, of course, the it's gonna be slightly hotter over here. So maybe it should be smart to put them over here. because this should be the coolest area of the build. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do that. So okay, so I'm gonna put the operating system drive, I think, probably over there. Let me get a screwdriver. Just thinking, just coming up with ideas as I go. Right. Constantly grounding myself with touching the table. Alright, let's put this one in. Alright. So it's kind of a shame because these copper blocks just look super cool. But apparently you can just pull them out. So let's see how that works. I think I'm gonna grab something wooden so I can push it out. Okay, so Asian components. Choppy, 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 chopsticks. Alright, let's see if I can use this to push on it. Alright, it's coming out. There we go. This is the drive itself. Alright, I'm gonna put this one. Let's put it over to the side for one. So you can just put them off. These are just for heatsink. So if you have a motherboard that doesn't have its own heatsink, because these can get quite hot, so you do need a heatsink for it. But I mean, these should be plenty. These are quite large heatsinks. So, and they have larger surface area anyway. So I think it should be fine. That's one. Let's get the other one. Right. Now I got 2 blocks of copper. Alright, put it into the side just for a little bit. And screw out this thing. Alright, so these are good like that. So I guess we can take these covers. And they have thermal padding here, so you can see this is thermal padding. So we're gonna take the plastic off of that. And I'm just gonna put this back where you belong. There we go. Right, before I do the last screw, just to be sure that we have the correct screws everywhere. All right, yeah, so these are the big ones. That's for this thing, I guess, just pull off the plastic. Beautiful. Yeah, so that's everything that needs to go on the motherboard. Yeah, I guess we can put it in the case now. Alright, so I guess I can clean up here and then start putting it in the case. Maybe before I should put it in the case, might as well already put on the angled water cooling brackets. Right. Keep it like this for now. Yeah, I guess now we can actually put it in the case. So I guess let's start doing. Well, maybe. Right. So quick change of plans. I discussed with some friends about not being able to get the bracket of the all-in-one and what I should do, and I discussed with them, and most of them said it's probably okay to run it for a couple of minutes with just a water block. I mean, it's a big enough surface area that it will probably be fine. If I just try to get into the BIOS, see if everything works. I'm gonna put a fan on it, so I have this very crappy fan here. Right, so I'm gonna just put that over here to the side. I'm just gonna blow air on top of it. So should be enough, I think, for a couple of minutes of just seeing if the board actually works. So if it's not a dead on arrival board, because that, I mean, it doesn't happen too often, but it does happen occasionally if you have a board that's broken when it arrives, which I really don't want. Like, if you put everything in the case, it's just going to be super annoying if you then discover that something is dead on arrival. That's why I wanted to put the all-in-one on there, but again, the mounting bracket for that is absolutely terrible, at least to get off. So yeah, I guess let's just try that. So I'm gonna grab my power supply and just try hooking everything up and just hook it up to my monitor, see if I can get into the BIOS, see if everything seems okay. I mean, I'm not gonna boot into, I'm not gonna install Windows yet or do whatever. I just wanna test if I can get into the BIOS, if it's recognized and all of that stuff. So let's just try that. All right, power supply. This thing is heavy. Rip. I'll just take it out of the box again. Okay, I'm going to put the power supply over here. Yeah, so the main thing is what I'm just going to try to do is I just want to get into the BIOS. That's my main concern. I don't really care for doing anything else right now. Don't care for I just want to make sure that the CPU and the motherboard work. Alright, just okay. I think so. And then this one needs to go. Oh, we actually have two. That's interesting. Alright, see how that goes. Okay, so I have my old 970 here, which I mentioned. It's super dusty, it's quite old. I mean, this is from 2014, but I'm gonna just plug this in for the display output for the HDMI, because of course this doesn't have any onboard graphics. So, and then I also gonna need to wire one of these. So let's just, I guess, plug that in. Looks like it might be a little bit problematic with the sync thing there, which is interesting. Alright, I'm just gonna put it in the last slot. I think that should fit better. Alright, this does fit. Okay, so I'm gonna put it in there. I have an HDMI here and I'm gonna just plug in. The big boy PSU. Alright, stuff is happening. You can see the RGB firing on. I didn't expect that to happen before I did anything. Right, there's, okay. Installed. Alright, so something is not working. I booted it with one memory chip in there. I'm gonna turn it off again because it is not cooling as it should. But with one, it definitely does work. Alright, it works. It gets all the RAM. Okay, I'm excited. The CPU is way too hot, so I'm gonna turn it off now. It's not throttling yet, but it's working. It's working. Psyched.